The last point that I think is important to talk about is your prediction as it relates to job recovery. One of the challenges leading into 2020, especially for manufacturers, was they just could not find skilled labor to fill the job openings that they had. Again, we even saw that probably in spite of the COVID pandemic. What are your thoughts as it relates to job recovery for 2021, especially manufacturing jobs?
Yeah, manufacturing has exactly the same problem it had before the pandemic. The pandemic almost had no impact on manufacturing from a labor perspective. The majority of people who lost their jobs were in the service sector. Those jobs will come back pretty quickly because they are low point of entry jobs. But manufacturers are still dealing with the fact that, 40, 50 million people out of work, but we don't want to hire somebody who used to be a server at a restaurant to run a press break. We need skilled people. We need people who can handle this job. We're not training them. We're not training them fast enough. There was always this glib assumption that a manufacturer could just hire somebody and train them. They can't do that. It takes almost a year and a half before a new hire is productive. And, they all have the same experience. You hire Skippy and you turn to one of your experienced guys and say, I want you to train this guy. And your experienced guy looks back at you and says, you giving me any extra time? Any extra money?
Right.
Are my productive quotas any different? You jerk. I don't want to train Skippy. Hire somebody who knows how to do the job, would you? So, that's the dilemma, and it's still there. And, nothing about this really changed that equation.
Interesting. Any indication that we're seeing from the new administration supporting various initiatives, skills training programs, anything like that?
There's some talk. It's still early days. We don't really know where they're putting their emphasis, but there was discussion throughout the campaign that there was going to be orientation more towards trade schools, more towards training people for practical things. Even when they talk about trying to make education free, there's people saying, well, look, if you're going to educate people for free, for crying out loud, don't train them in ancient French literature, okay? Can you train them to work in the jobs that we need filled? And in that case, I can get behind that. I can get behind training people to run the industries that make this country money.